All right, some of the setup for the lab. Before you do the calibration, before you run any of your samples, it says to rinse the syringe and the stopcocks with water and rinse them with the sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to show you with water what it would be. I already have some in here. I'm just going to dump this out for a second. Okay, you want to open both stopcocks up entirely. Okay. And we're going to want to pour a little bit of water in. So now when it said to use about 20 milliliters of water and about 20 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, that's a lot. And so actually you probably don't, that's like 20 milliliters entirely. If you rinse it 3 times, you should do it 3 times. So what I would suggest is pouring a little bit in. And then you roll it around. So you roll it all the way around, okay, and then you let it go out the end, okay? So you can see it streams right out. You can close the stopcock, actually. I guess that would probably be a better idea. It spills out a little bit. Put a little bit more in, and you rinse it around, and you open up the stopcock and let some more go. Now, this is the water, so it can go right out the drain. The sodium hydroxide, you should have a waste beaker, and that way you can put it inside of that waste beaker and keep it for later, and we'll end up putting it all in the same waste beaker when we're done, and I can neutralize it. So that's the first step in preparing for the lab today. Okay, after an hour of working with calibration, we're not calibrating. I couldn't get it to work, and it wasn't going like it's supposed to, so my friend at Pasco said, go ahead and you can skip that. So that'll save us a little bit of time. So what I'm going to show you right now is how to get this started. And so you have everything plugged in. Everything's kind of packed in here just for demonstration purposes. So you have everything plugged into your SparkLink Air, and that is connected to your Chromebook. And this is my Chromebook, so it looks a bit different, but it's the same it's the same experience is what I should say. So once you have it all set up, you're going to need to be pressing some buttons, which is easier said than done, but it's easy. You guys are pretty smart. I know you are. So if you just kind of follow along, you're going to want to build in the lower right-hand corner. You click on build, and no, it's not a touch screen. Haha, I keep doing that. Oh, good Lord. All right, you build it, and then in the upper right-hand corner, there's an all-gray background image. That's fine. You want the graph that's in the upper left of the options. You want to change your axes, so click on the time, and so on the x-axis, you're going to change that to, on the x-axis, you're going to change that to fluid volume. For the measurement on the y-axis, you're going to change it to conductivity 10x. In model number 2, you're going to add a y-axis and add temperature, but for right now, you can leave temperature off. Click OK, and there you have your setup. Now, I've already washed the burette. It's not really a burette, it's a syringe, but I've washed it 3 times with water. I've washed it 3 times with sodium hydroxide. I have set my stopcock so that my top stopcock will get about 2 drops per second. My bottom stopcock is for the on and off only. I have my conductivity sensor in so that the holes on the side are submerged below the level of the solution. If they're not below the level of the solution, they won't be able to be read. There's a play button in the lower left-hand corner that's green. When I'm ready to get started, I select that. So I'm going to select that right now. And now there are parts of the video I might cut and splice together to make this a little bit easier. Anyways, I turn on my stopcock here, and now the drops are flowing. Okay, I'm going to quick show you something about that. That on the drop counter, you can see the green light flashing. That green light flashing means that it is getting discrete individual drops. And if it turns solid green, that means there's something in the way and it's not recording it the way it should. As it's going, you can see over here that it looks like it's kind of maxed out on its conductivity as it's doing the volume. And that's fine. There is, in this button right here, it opens up some options. And so, not being a touch screen, of course, we click on that. And this one where it has the 4 arrows going out, we can click on that. And now it makes it a little bit more similar. So anyways, it's going to do this for a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and Probably stop this and pick it back up when something exciting happens. All right. Oh, I should mention that I put a white piece of paper into there because there is phenolphthalein in the acid in there, which turns it a little pink. So I can't do this all at the same time, but one of your group members needs to be swirling at the same time as it's dropping. Okay, I'll pick back up in a moment. Okay, so there's a few things you should know when doing this experiment. One is you need to be swirling the whole time. Do you see how it was flat and then all of a sudden it dropped down? That's when I started swirling. So somebody needs to be swirling the whole time so that the solution is being run past those conductivity sensors. The next thing is you should not leave it, when you swirl it, you should lift it slightly off of the paper and the floor because there seems to be a lot of noise that causes it to shake a lot. Careful though that you don't bang into the conductivity sensor. So there's not a lot of room, so you got to be kind of careful about that. And you can also see that it's very pink. Now, it turned pink after a little while. It actually turned pink permanently down there right about 9 milliliters, okay? And so you need to take note of that and write that down. That is actually the end point, the sort of equivalence point of your titration. That's when the acid and bases, when the moles are equal. That's important to remember. This did not take very long at all. The actual running of this experiment is going to be quick. So in first period, we're going to run this a couple times. I may have to make more chemicals, which I'm totally fine with. So we might make 2 or 3 runs. And then in third period, the second block, we might need to make several runs, not only for the TV and all that, but also for the Omanis that are coming to visit. Let's try to really emphasize what we're learning from this. So I'll try to make a quick video on the important points of this, and that way you guys will have something to talk about, and also hopefully you'll be learning something at the same time. Thank you guys.